All right, we can move
buys
on
and sells
to the buys and sells, or the Technical Fowl stock market. First one I've got for y'all, which I feel like we're all going to be probably on the same page on this one, but Alabama still makes the college football playoffs. Buy or sell?
That is a huge sell for me. There are a couple of reasons. We talked about it earlier in an Alabama preview or review, not preview. Get my words mixed up. We haven't this is our first big review show, so I'm not used to saying review. I'm used to saying preview.
It's got me a couple times too.
Alabama looked yesterday like they cannot stop the QB run, and some of the quarterbacks that they are yet to face, Diego Pavia, Bo Prabula, who we saw yesterday can run the ball very well.
Friday night.
Friday night, thank you.
No.
Thursday?
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Yeah.
That's why I was about to say.
R.I.P. Sam Horn, by the way. That was a
Yeah.
very long-lasting quarterback battle there.
Yeah. So Diego Pavia, Bo Prabula, Lenora Sellers, and John Mateer are all still in the schedule for Alabama. If I'm an Alabama fan and I saw what Tommy Castellanos just did, and I remember what we looked like last year against the QB run, I'm pretty scared. And then not only that, DeBoer is 2-4 on the road since arriving at Alabama. I didn't actually double check that. That was a tweet I saw, but I don't know how someone would lie about that and not get called out. So I'm going to assume that was correct.
Yep.
Should have fact checked it. Those four road games they still have on the schedule: at Georgia, at Missouri, rushing quarterback that I just mentioned, at South Carolina, rushing quarterback I just mentioned, and at Auburn, rushing quarterback. That's potentially 4 more losses. We're talking potentially, worst case scenario, a 7-5 Alabama team. I don't see them winning. I mean, they have to avoid losing. I see them losing at least 2 of those games. And so you're talking about another 9-3 Alabama. I don't see that team getting into the playoffs. So I am selling very hard right now.
JP?
I'm selling as well. I think they'll go 8-4 this year. I think they can pick up 2 wins, but week 4 I think is the swing of their season is playing at Georgia. Kalen DeBoer needs to win that game, I think, to continue momentum in the program, because are they going to lose that game? More than likely, and then they can pick up a few wins before they'll have to go to Cocktober and play South Carolina. But that is a huge statement game. They can't be embarrassed in that game whatsoever. But with the way they played against Florida State, and as high as I am on Georgia having them winning the SEC, I expect them to kind of get embarrassed again. I don't see how the things that were a problem yesterday are just going to be solved against Georgia. I can understand how they're going to be solved in 2 weeks against Wisconsin, but I don't know how they're going to be solved on the road, night game in Sanford against Georgia. I just don't expect it to happen. And Gunnar Stockton played really well but yesterday on the ground especially, and I think that's going to be, again, a threat against Alabama. So I'm selling.
I don't know why I said we're all going to agree, because I clearly am taking the bold call here. I'm buying still because I can't let go yet. They're my national championship team, and as bad as it looked week 1,
Yep.
I gotta back my horse for a little while longer and hope they somehow can turn this around. So I'm buying.
Yeah, and what I would say to that, Tucker, is I don't know what I would have said last year because the 12-team playoff and the way that it runs was just unknown. And also, I will say Notre Dame didn't have an SEC schedule ahead of them, and Alabama does. I don't think Notre Dame has shown the same year-to-year dysfunction at stopping a running quarterback. Alabama has, and they still have a lot of rushing quarterbacks left to play, very talented guys. That's what I would say to that. I don't know what we would have said, but what gives you hope to buy Bama, Jack? I mean, talent is kind of all you can say, and the fact that you're a DeBoer guy since his Washington days.
Yeah, it's mainly talent. That team just has so many guys, and I'm just gonna choose to believe that even if they look broken, that they hit rock bottom
And bounce back.
and they build from here, because that is a possibility. That there's some hard looks in the mirror. Kalen DeBoer has to look at his balding head with his few wisps of hair and go, "Oh man, what have I done?" And we go up from there and pull off a shocker at Georgia, because honestly, Gunnar Stockton looked good to me, but I was still not very impressed with that offensive line overall. And so we'll see about them. But yeah, it's mainly just they're my national championship pick. I'm going to back the horse for a little while longer.
This is coming from a booster at Alabama, one of their bigger boosters.
This tweet is so funny.
Players are walking around at 1 to 1:30 a.m. getting DoorDash deliveries of fast food the night before the game. He's seen players with random friends coming in and out of the hotel until 1 to 2 a.m. They couldn't get organized to leave the team hotel on time without confusion. That just kind of speaks to more of the lack.
That was
lack of
via a
discipline.
burner. It was via a burner.
We have no
But
validity
this is
to that
via
report.
a booster.
Yeah.
It has just as much.
well, I
it has
could
plenty
tweet
of
something and
validity.
say it was via a booster.
Well, I would like to believe that this is
I
true
also-
because
I
this
also-
is what is being shown on the field.
I agree with that.
Is just a lack of discipline, a lack of effort, a lack of.
Johnny
care.
Manziel got wasted before every game and went crazy. So sometimes things
Baker
just work.
Mayfield as well.
Yeah.
Um,
I get that's not the norm. But anyway, we can move on. We can move on. I'm
Yes.
buying. Y'all two are selling. My next one, Cal's freshman QB, JKS. I don't know if you've seen any tape from that game.
Did you
JP.
watch the tape for that game, JP?
I haven't.
He
Okay.
looks fantastic.
So you can't necessarily. I mean, you can go and buy or sell here if you want. Will be a freshman All-American.
Okay, hold up. I'm trying to think about other freshman quarterbacks out there.
So you're
Bryce
looking at, like,
Underwood.
Bryce Underwood.
Is All American? Is it one or is it like an All American team? How does that work? I can't remember.
I think the freshman All-American team is just one.
It's just 1-2 quarterbacks make it.
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and buy. He looked phenomenal last night, and he's going to have all the opportunity in the world to put up stats at Cal.
yeah,
So
because they're not going to have that
It's
same
his
kind of
team.
run
It's
game.
already his
Michigan
team.
is. Yeah, he looked awesome. JP, like as soon as we get off air,
it's very much an overreaction, but still, I'm buying.
yeah, go watch the highlights. Incredible. If y'all out there have not watched JKS,
JKS. I can't pronounce his name. So
I looked it up.
People
It's
are
a
calling
long name.
Him, people are
so-
calling him JKS, and we're going to roll with it.
yep, I like that. I looked it up. I'll try and learn it at some point because that'd be a fun flex. Like me being able to spell Imaliava. Pretty
Well,
proud of that.
Imaliava was a tough one to begin with too. It just takes some time.
Yeah,
I would argue this one's a little tougher than
I
Imaliava.
agree. It has the hidden in like Tungavaloa or whatever.
Tonga Viola.
He's a lefty, too, and I'm a sucker for a lefty quarterback.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it took NBA announcers like 5 years to yell Giannis Antetokounmpo, which I just
Butchered.
butchered it right there.
Do you want to take two?
Mike Breen would go with like Antetokounmpo and
Yeah.
Antetokounmpo and other stuff. Like it was bad. So
Andrew, that makes me so sad because everyone is talking about it. It's like
That was almost my buy or sell, is will JKS be in a Cal uniform next
it's like
season?
the same. It's the same sadness that I get when people are talking about where will Tariq Skubal pitch. Like, will he pitch for the Yankees or the Dodgers next year? And I'm like, that's just so depressing to think. Like, why can't? Yeah,
it's the nature of the sport.
it is the nature of the sport. I'm sad that it is the nature of college sports. I have less of a problem being the nature of professional sports.
I don't think he will be. I think they'll start Keelan Russell next year. He's just
Keelan.
Keelan Russell. Apologies, I'm the butcher guy. So
You can't.
I
you
expect
can't
him
say
to start
names.
Keelan Russell.
I
next
can't
year,
remember
but
anything.
He could go to an SEC school, surely.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any tape, but I'll go ahead and say that I'm buying because I sat here for a second and tried to think of another freshman starting quarterback outside of Bryce Underwood.
The Maryland.
That would make a good enough statement. Malik Washington, sure, but I'm gonna buy.
Cool.
Did you buy? I missed it if you did.
Yeah, I'm buying.
Okay,
Looks
cool.
fantastic. Andrew predicting the end of the world for Alabama. DeBoer gone. Keelan Russell gone. Bama's going to implode.
That'd be, I don't know. It's a possibility. Okay, next one. Auburn to make the college football playoff, buy or sell?
I am still selling. I have not seen enough from Jackson Arnold as a passer to think that he can lead that team to the college football playoff. They still play an SEC slate. SEC opponents, I just don't see them. I haven't seen enough to buy that yet. I don't like the hype of being like, he ran all over, like he just didn't throw the ball. And you have to do that against SEC opponents.
Sure.
He's going to have to be able to do that. And they have the weapons to do it. That was kind of I guess Baylor's defense just set it up that it was unnecessary and they could out physical him. But if he can throw, he can be fantastic. I just haven't seen him throw.
Yeah, this is one like, if you could just like hold, I would. But I'm not going to be the coward and be like, I'm just going to hold. I'll sell because I agree. I want to see more. There was nothing we saw Friday night that was like, oh, that's not good. Like, there was no really negatives from the game. But I still would just like to see more. So I'm going to sell for now.
Yeah, he threw for 108 yards, which is almost, in fact, I'm pretty sure it's double what he threw against Alabama last year. Running for 137 was impressive, but he's going to have to throw the ball for Auburn to make the playoff this year. And the schedule, like you said, Sanders, they're playing difficult teams all year. Now, this is a year they get to host the Iron Bowl, but Alabama is the worst team in college football, so that should be
tied for the worst team.
A free win. But they got some tough games at Oklahoma, at College Station. They still have to play Georgia. I just don't see there's an avenue for them to get to 9 wins, but then your 9 wins, your best win is hosting Alabama. I don't know if that would be enough because I think you're going to have more teams that are at 9 wins, 3 losses, especially in the SEC.
I agree.
So I'm going to sell.
Cool. Kansas State eked out a scary one against, was it
North
Dakota?
North Dakota, yeah.
They won
This is getting annoying,
35
man.
yesterday. Buy or sell them competing for the Big 12 title. Like when we get into November, they're still in contention.
Yeah.
Even if they don't necessarily have to make it for you to buy, but they're right there. They're within a game.
I think they'll be in contention. I think my biggest takeaway, and I got a little ahead of myself because I was like checking a bunch of scores at once and didn't realize there was still 2 minutes left. I thought they had lost, and that's when I texted and said it's crazy that they're 0-2 and still. Oh, I was driving. That's why I had a lot going on. They're 0-2 and still the exact same distance from a Big 12 championship they were 2 weeks ago. Because out of conference, if they had lost, it would have been out of conference, and then the Iowa State loss doesn't matter because they play a 10-game conference schedule, or Kansas State does. Not everybody does. So I'm still going to be buying it just because I think that they have had a long runway to kind of warm up, and I'm kind of betting on them improving and getting better and clicking. Blame it on jet lag coming back from Ireland and blame it on jet lag going to Ireland. I just don't. I'm not selling on them yet.
Sure.
There's no reason to not buy. Personally, I think they're still one of the better teams in the Big 12. That was a tough game to watch, I'm sure, if you're a Kansas State fan. The fact that like the building was still packed out at the end of a game against North Dakota is actually worse of a statement than you think because you'd hope you had blown them out and people could get home early.
Sure.
But that place was still packed, and it was like the building exploded in Manhattan when they scored that touchdown to take the lead late. North Dakota at one point late on that fourth quarter, that last drive for Kansas State had a 94.2% chance to win the game, according to ESPN.
Wow.
Dang.
Which is insane. But I'm going to agree with Cromie. I'm buying. There's no reason to put a ton of money on it because the stock is at an all-time low. And going forward, the games that were going to be question marks for them, I think they might feel better off, especially getting into those games. Baylor was kind of embarrassed a little bit by Auburn on Friday night. They'll have to go to Baylor later this year. Kansas didn't look as impressive as I thought they would, and I think Kansas is going to get beat pretty bad by Missouri this coming weekend, and that was a tough game for them. Utah was the only one that like looked impressive outside of Texas Tech. That raises concern, but again, they can go 8-2, and they win a tiebreaker against a 7-2 Big 12 team and make the Big 12 title game. So I'm going to buy that they can compete for it, not that they're going to win it.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and buy 2. With the caveat that they have not looked nearly as good as I would hope for them to have it at this point in the season. But I'll go ahead and buy. Similar take here, Utah to compete for a Big 12 playoff spot.
Yeah, this
game.
stock is probably a little more expensive, or a lot more expensive right now. But I will still be buying just because of how that run offense looked yesterday. And like I said, that could be in part due to a bad UCLA team they were playing. But I will be betting on Devin Dampier. Sorry. Devin Dampier. And
I would buy Damon Williams stock if you can, though, too. That's pretty good
no
value.
no one's selling that. Everybody's they're holding, so that's
True.
not for sale, unfortunately. No, Devin Dampier and that offensive line and that run game, I'm going to buy stock on to compete.
I also will buy stock. I like their team a lot, but also just like how it kind of is a clash of style for a lot of other Big 12 teams. They're so physical up front, and I think that'll cause a lot of Big 12 teams problems, and so they'll be able to pick up some easy wins in that regard. So I'm going to buy.
What is it, competing and winning the Big 12?
Like, just to make the title game.
Oh, then I would buy because there was something we talked about in their preview as well. They host the 3 best teams in the Big 12 this year in Texas Tech, Arizona State, and Kansas State, all at home. And Utah is notorious for having a really tough home environment. And they get a big win away from home against UCLA, I'm going to buy because I just don't see a world where they lose 2 of those games. And so I think they make the Big 12 title game pretty easily.
Huge. Okay, we have 2 group of 5 ones to wrap it up. First,
I also have another one for you that's
Okay.
P4, but we can do it.
do the P4 one first then.
Mekhi Hughes, buying or selling?
I will sell. Actually, I kind of have to.
You have to
I'm
buy.
locked in. Like
Yeah.
it was a long-term Mekhi Hughes investment, and he's not. He didn't. He played he fully healthy, rushed for 2 times.
Yeah.
Like running back 4.
For a little
by carry.
context for the viewers, we are all in a college football keeper league, and it's limited to Big Ten and SEC teams because we don't want all 134 FBS teams available to draft. And so Mekhi Hughes transfers in from Tulane into Oregon in the Big Ten. Jack picks him third overall.
3rd overall.
And we as a group kind of like our league manager labeled Jack as a championship favorite going into the season after the draft. And then we're watching the game Saturday, and Jack is going, Mekhi Hughes hasn't touched the ball. He hasn't run. 5 other guys have rushed the ball. What's going on? And so then we were like, okay, well, maybe he's hurt. Maybe he's sick. And since it was a cupcake game, they just didn't want to push him in too early. And then Mekhi Hughes comes in late and gets 2 touches. And that was like worst case scenario. So Jack is a little nervous. And we are nervous on his behalf as far as that might be one of the worst draft picks we've seen to date in this league.
I need to go watch Dan Lanning's presser and see if he mentioned him at all or someone asked him about it because he was supposed to be the back in that room. Even Oregon fans are confused by it. It's not like I missed something.
Yeah.
If I miss something, we all miss something. So that is tough.
Yeah. So you're forced to buy. I would sell because as someone who doesn't have my fantasy team, I would be selling stock on a guy who came in that highly touted and then didn't get a touch until the end of the game and touched the ball twice.
I'm going to buy.
Appreciate it. I'm really going to hope he
Can we get reasoning for that, JP?
I'm going to really hope he got in trouble or something like that.
2v1.
Oh, okay, cool.
Valid. Maybe just in a bit of a doghouse. He'll be back full force week
Andrew,
2.
what is the worst pick? I want to hear your thoughts for worst pick. Just because, okay, that's fair. It has the potential to be. There definitely have been worse picks, but because it's like first round, it's a high profile pick. So that kind of, in my opinion, gives it some extra weight as far as it being a bad pick.
Not my best moment, but I'm not a historic
Tucker
fantasy
says
player
he would
either.
sell Arizona State. I haven't watched the footage from that game, JP. Do you have thoughts on Sam Levitt and Jordan Tyson? Tyson apparently had a fantastic game. Or is that right?
Yeah, Tyson had great numbers.
Yeah, I mean, great numbers. I have no idea what he did on the field.
Yeah,
but
I haven't been able to watch it.
I won't tell you until Thursday.
I think that's fair.
That's very fair.
JMU to be the group of 5 playoff representative. Buy or sell? Buy or sell, gentlemen?
I'm forced to buy because unfortunately Gata lost a tough one to Fresno State yesterday. J.C. French was getting compared to Shane Gillis. Like the Shane Gillis AI memes where it's like they were playing like Shane Gillis would kind of thing.
No.
No?
I
Okay,
don't.
you've never
Sorry,
seen those?
Coach.
Okay. Well, not Shane, but J.C. French was getting compared to that, and he did not play well yesterday. And then, of course, Boise State, my group of 5 pick to make the playoff, was kind of upended by South Florida. I'm going to buy. I'm a big Dukes guy. JMU I had ranked to start the season, and I will continue to have them ranked. And I'll take them still why I feel like their stock is low. Because
Sure.
they only beat Weber State. So it's not like they've made a big statement yet.
They have a chance this upcoming Friday, though, against
But
Louisville.
this Friday, as you said, they got a big game against Louisville, and then in 2 weeks, because there's a bye for whatever reason between the Louisville game and their Week 3 game, they'll go to Liberty. So boo the Flames, go Dukes.
This could flame out real fast after a couple of weeks, but I'm also going to buy. I love this team. I think they're one of the more talented group of 5 teams, and they just are consistent. Like I feel like I can trust them. So if I'm going to buy, I want a team I can trust.
Cool.
So did you buy or sell?
Oh, sorry. I was over here watching this football game and then also thinking about other
You good?
stuff for next week's show. They thinking too much. I'm gonna sell because I have picked UNLV and therefore I don't want to own stock in 2 G5 teams. I don't believe in diversification when it comes to buying stock. I prefer to put all my eggs in one basket, so I'm gonna keep them all on UNLV. 2-0 UNLV.
Sure. It's a little dicey, but sure. Last one, USF. Same question. USF, buy or sell to be the group of 5 playoff representative?
I'm going to buy. I thought they played really, really well. Byron Brown played as good as advertised to me, not necessarily to everyone else. People have kind of forgotten about him. But I thought he played outstanding against Boise State. Boise State was my group of 5 pick, and I still think they are the standard in the Mountain West, and they still have a great chance to win the Mountain West. And, of course, they did not play well in that game on Thursday, but I do think South Florida was a good team. I really considered, which I hate, this is what I hate about gambling, is I was about to put money on South Florida money line. But it doesn't matter because I didn't do it. But I'll buy as South Florida making the playoff. I think they've got 2 good chances in the next 2 weeks at Florida and at Miami to prove something to the committee down the road. If they're competitive kind of in both of those games, similar to the way Boise State was last year against Oregon, that could be a huge statement if they were to go 10-2 and win the American in being the group of 5 team over a team if UNLV went undefeated or even a Sun Belt team in James Madison. So they've got 2 great chances these next 2 weeks in hostile environments. But who knows really what Miami and Florida are yet. We're not. Florida played well. DJ Lagway played well, but Miami we'll see tonight. I'll buy.
I'm going to sell because as much as I was impressed with this team, and I do think they're very good, I think they'll lose their next 2 games, and I think that'll be too much for even if they win the rest of their games. I'm not positive they would get in, and then that also means they have to win the rest of their games. And there are other quality teams in the American, so I'm going to sell.
That's exactly what I was thinking, is I don't have them winning either of those 2 games. You lose those 2, and then you have to win out because a 3-loss G5 team is not going to get in. Also, sorry, I'm watching the Dylan Stewart just got hurt. I'm watching that replay. That's exactly what I was going to say, is do like 2 losses in the next 2 weeks, and then they're probably going to end up dropping a 3rd game.
They're not. Their schedule, the only tough game they have is at Memphis in the American Conference and at Navy.
You're overlooking a game, I'm afraid.
I'm overlooking a game. Against what? South Carolina State? Rice?
Nope.
North Texas?
Nope.
This should be obvious, man.
Oh, UTSA.
Yeah,
okay.
Go Roadrunners, man.
They do get to host UTSA, though.
Who else is it? Is Liberty the American?
No, they're in the Conference USA.
Liberty is the crown jewel of the Conference USA.
Who's the American front runner?
Tulane.
Tulane. So they'll have to play Tulane in the conference. Potentially have to play Tulane in the conference championship.
In theory.
I'm gonna sell.
Cool.